SR of LIS, Delhi. She is a life member of professional association which are DLA, ILA, IATLIS, and many more. So, with this, I would like to invite Dr. Shalini Leadkar ma'am to share the today's topic, that how we can go ahead with the different strategies and tools which are available to enhance our research visibility and impact in the current context. As we all participants know that we write the papers, but the impactness and the tools which are available will help us to enhance our research uh, area. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Uh, First of all, I would like to congratulate the college. I hope my voice is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
So I would like to congratulate the college and the organizer of this particular workshops for organizing for the research scholar, especially in the research area. And I hope till now, whatever the lectures have been invited and have been delivered, from that you have taken a very good points to note down, and you will definitely apply in your research while doing your research in the form of research projects, in the form of research articles, and in the form of thesis. Okay. I have some technical problem, and that's why I have shared the video with the Shanin madam. So I would like to request Momin madam to please play the video, and I will be here only. You can raise the question or you can type the question in the chat box. And thank you once and all for giving me this opportunity to express my view for this workshop. Over to Shahin madam.
Okay, ma'am.
Respected dignitaries of this
Uh,
online platform,
Voice,
especially for this
it's
workshop,
audible.
and
Video
Yeah,
is
ma'am.
audible.
respected
Okay,
Dr.
thank
Yes,
you.
yes,
Abdul
yes.
Razak sir, director of this Anjuman Islamic College and Kalsekar College of campus, and all dear faculty members, especially research scholars and students, and faculty members outside from the college also, and all the respected deans. Welcome to this presentation. And at the outset, I would like to thanks to the organizer, especially Madam Shanin, for giving me this opportunity to present my views for this esteemed college. And I'm very happy to know that this college is working and the doors are open for all. And the college is doing a secularism in nature. So I'm very happy to deliver a lecture in this college, and hope you will enjoy this lecture, and whatever in this lecture are suggested, you will apply in your research academic journey. So let me start my presentation. The presentation is on boosting of research visibility through emerging profiling tool, and why this Professor Das Gupta sir has already given the background. After your publication of papers, then it is very necessary to our have the research visibility. Otherwise, the impact of our research will not be counted in a manner which manner we want. Okay. So for this, research visibility is very, very important. And generally what we do after publication, we forget about that paper. Once we publish the paper, then we forget. But after that, we have to also take care how it should be visible to all, and how our research impact will be there on the other research scholar. So for this, we have to take care about all these things, and that's why this presentation is important to all the faculty members and research scholars. So here in this digital age, digital identity is very, very important, and for creating our digital footprint. You may be observing here that various research IDs are there. Okay. So for what purpose all this research ID, like ORCID ID is there, Scopus author ID is there, researcher ID is also there, Publan ID is also there. So after this presentation, you will be also able to create all these ID so that whatever research you are doing, it may be a very good research or it may be good research, we can't say, we can't measure the research, but by impact of others or impact on others or whatever citations we are getting, from that citation count we are generally saying that yes, this research will be valuable to the other research scholar. So for all this you have to create your research id so that you can showcase your publications to all. And for what purpose generally we are doing the research? For to give this result so better in the society. For that purpose we are doing the research. So all this research, whatever research we are doing the publication, that should be visible to all so that the impact of research will be counted. So this presentation basically endeavors to throw a light on various aspects of research impact. So what is meant by research impact or visibility, we will go into the depth. Then what the things we should note before and after publishing, then how we can explore the author identifier or research profiling tool, then how to raise the research visibility, and I can also demonstrate that how to add the publication in all this research id. So basically for 5 points we will be presenting here. So before that, there is a very good quote like advancement is something that the human society can neither unwished or not wished against. So we have to accept the technology, and because of this covid situation, we are now working from home, and for some urgent work only we are going to our workplaces. So we should also take all the advantage when once we are working from the home. So we have to accept the technology, and if we are not changing ourselves, then we may not be getting very good chances to do for collaborative work in our research. So we have to change ourselves, then only we will get some very good chances. Then how to start?
Shalini madam,
Ah,
yeah.
yes,
Sorry to
yes.
interrupt. Can you just hide this stop sharing bar at the bottom?
Okay, significant service in the context of e-research and data extensive research. And if we are providing through libraries all these services like research support services, then it will automatically enhance the scientific discovery. But only the thing is, for this we have to change the mindset. We have to turn the challenges into the opportunity, and this is the right time for all the professionals or even all the faculty members to enhance the image of our profession. And for this, we have to create our research id. Whatever research ids tools are there, from this we have to create. So my question to all the participants are, dear learners, do you have your research ids? If you are having that, it is a very good thing for your institution and for your personal promotion also. But if you don't have your research id, then after this presentation you can try to create your ids. So getting active to create your ids and do whatever discoveries what you can do for your research purpose. So research journey is a unique journey because every researcher has their own limitation, has their own advantages also for doing a research. So research journey is a unique journey for everyone. And once we start our research journey, then only we can start the writing the publications. So it may be from our thesis, or it may be from our research project, or it may be from our individual research. So this is the map, not a route, and each research journey is a unique journey. Even Einstein is saying also research is not a formula, because if we knew what it was we are doing, then it would not be called as a research. Could it be? So for this, you have to identify your research journey, how you have started your research journey, then during the last 10 years how you have developed the research approach for your research, and then how in which stage you are. So self evaluation is very very important here, so that you can identify how your research will be unique, and how here you can create your personal research brand. So don't copy to others. Whatever research you are doing, go into the depth of that research and create your personal brand, so that you may be familiar, you may be knowing to all the researchers what will be the research life cycle. Before going into the depth of the research enhancing tool, we should also understand what are the research skill we should have. So in the ideate plane, we have to create the idea plane, like how to create the papers, how to create the ideas, how to generate the ideas. And for this, we are searching a lot of literature, and we are using and we are citing the literature. And if we are not citing the literature, whatever you are using from other sources, then you may caught in the plagiarism. So we should also take care that how to use and cite the literature. And for this, you can use the different reference management tool, or even plagiarism tool also you can use it. After that, organize the data and analyze. And then how all this data, once we analyze the data or organize the data, then how we present or communicate to others. And then after presenting also, what type of impact you have created, and how this impact can be measured and enhanced. So here on the sixth stage, we are just focusing on the research impact. So how to create our impact and how to enhance the research visibility, that we are going into the depth of that. So before that, just this is the seven aspects of research support service. What are they? They are the research data management. Research data management means librarian has to provide all this research support service to all the faculty members, so that the faculty members can take the advantage of all these services. So librarian has to take care of the research data management, where we have to organize, store, preserve, and share the data which are collected from the various projects of our faculty members. So it should be have on one platform. So for this, you have to manage the research data management. After that, you have to also provide a range of practices through open access. So it may be a free of cost, or other access barriers can be avoided here. We have to also, whatever research output we have, that should be distributed in the open access platform. Why open access platform? Because sometimes what happen, whatever subscribed databases we are taking, so if we have a subscription, then only we can have the access. So if we don't have the subscription, then we may not be using that sources. So for this, open access is very very important, because anybody can access the resources. We have to also take the help of these scholarly publications, like how to create, how to evaluate the scholarly content, how to disseminate it to the scholarly community. Then we have to also provide the help for the scholarly publication to the faculty members. Then research impact measurement. Generally, this research impact measurement will be calculated based on the citation counts or H index. You may be familiar with the H index. Then journal impact factor is also there. So we have to also give the training to the faculty members how to calculate the citation count, or even some concept, basic concept of citation count. What will be the H index? How the impact factor of the journals can be calculated, or otherwise how the high impact factor journal you have to publish the paper. Then that services also we have to provide. Then we have to also provide the services of research guide, like we have to recommend the sources based on the users requirement. And we have to also provide the services of research consultancy, like managing the references, what type of styles we have to use, how to collect the literature review, and all this for writing the research paper or project. And some of the research tool recommendation also we have to provide, like which are the journals which are having the good impact factor, what are the statistical tool, how to use this reference management tool or plagiarism tools. So these seven aspects are very very important from librarian's point of view. And as a faculty member, you should also take the help of from your library about all these services, research support services. So the question is here, after publishing what? So once we publish the paper in a very good journals, then it should be we should also take care about that the paper should get noticed by the others. So for what purpose this paper should get noticed by the others? For the citation count, it is very good if the paper is get noticed by the others. So not only publishing a high quality paper in the scientific journal is only the halfway towards receiving the citation in the future, but we have to also take care about the various research tools. If you are publishing in a very good high quality impact factor paper, then you may be forgetting about that paper. But if that paper is also known to all, and if the paper is available in the open access platform, then it will be having some impact on the others, because anybody can use that paper. So for this you can use some research tools, and which will allow to increase the research impact of your research. So for that also you have to take care about the research tools. So let us see what are the research tools we are generally. So traditionally there are two methods of promoting our research. For traditionally, what type of method we are following? Presenting at conferences, then writing a review article, then citing our own research. But nowadays it is also the coming under the plagiarism, that is called as a self plagiarism. So we should avoid this method which we are following in the traditional method. Then recent method are, we have to use the social media networks. Then we can also publish in the open access journals and getting an ORCID ID. How to create an ORCID ID, we will also go into the depth. But these are the two methods. Nowadays we are using all this method like social media, open access, and getting a ORCID ID. Then why we have to promote our research? Because there are many reasons, but if we want to get a further scientific and academic discovery, then we have to also share our research. And if we share our research to others, the other research scholars, then it can be facilitate the collaboration. And for to fulfill the information need also, we have to promote our research. You may be observing here that one cartoon picture is there. This scientist is struggling for, he is saying that please cite my paper. So why he is saying, although he is a good researcher, he has published a many quality number of papers, but if that paper is not visible to anybody, then nobody will cite that paper, nobody will use that paper, rather. Okay, so he is saying that cite my paper, because nowadays everything is depend on the citation count or even H index. Okay, so for this we have to promote the research and research visibility. Here this slide is showing that whatever publications we have, what is the role of research publication? Because everything is depend on even national or international ranking of any institution or university is depend on the research publication. So for this we have to take care about the research visibility. And even personal promotions are due based on the research publication. And if you want to submit a project for any funding agencies, there also they will see what will be your research credit or how you have published the paper. So based on your publication or research creditability, you will be allowing to take that project. Okay, so for this also you have to take care about the research publication. And assessment of research quality and excellence is also depend on the research publication. And if you are taking care of the research visibility, there is a chances of getting the accessibility of published paper, and you will be getting a high number of citations. And there is a chances of being found, read, and cited your journals. And there is also a chances of research collaboration. So for this also, research visibility you have to take care. And whatever research we are doing, actually it is for to serve the society better. For that also you have to disseminate your works, so that whatever, suppose for example pharmacy faculty members, so if they have discovered something new formulas of the medicine, like during this COVID situation, if anybody has developed the formula for vaccination, then they will also go for the commercialization. So whatever research you are doing, it should be visible to all, so that all these points can be fulfilled. Here, let us see about the research impact and metrics. So, research impact and metric means it is generally referred to the effect of research outside the academia. It may be for the economy, it may be for the society, or it may be for the culture. So, based on that, we are calculating the citation metrics, and which are commonly used type of method for calculating the impact of your research. And these citation metrics are useful to the researcher to help them identify key publications and key authors in the field. So there are three segments of research impact. First is article impact, second is author impact, or third is journal metrics. So all these three metrics are very, very important. So let us go for the in depth of all these metrics. So first is journal metrics. So how these are calculated journal metrics? Based on our citation, we are calculating all these journal metrics. So the data can be collected through Google Scholar, or it is can be collected through Web of Science and Scopus. So once you publish the paper in the Scopus or Web of Science, then it is automatically calculated the citation metrics. Okay. But if your paper is available in the Google Scholar, it is also automatically calculated. Only the thing is, Google Scholar is also providing the H5 median or I10 index also they are providing. So for this also you have to create your Google Scholar ID, so that your research, once you publish your research in the electronic format, then automatically it will be extracted by the Google Scholar. Whole bibliographical data or bibliographical details will be extracted by the Google Scholar, and automatically it will calculate the H index or I10 index. Okay. So based on that also journal metrics can be calculated. Web of Science, they are also providing the journal citation reports, and which is ranked by the Eugene Garfield, means Eugene factors and the impact factor. And it can be also available in the eugenefactor.org. Scopus is also providing the journal metrics based on the SJR or SNP or site source they are also using. So how these journal metrics can be calculated based on the very good databases like Web of Science or Scopus and Google Scholar, they are calculating these journal metrics. So journal metric is nothing but whatever journal is published, based on that how many within that published journal, how many articles are cited by other. Based on that, these journal metrics can be calculated, and generally it is assessed based on the impact factor. So that is called as a journal metric, is called as a impact factor. So we have to also see. So for this in national level in India, UGC care reference list of quality journal, that is generally simply we are saying that care list. And then for agriculture, NAS ranking is there. And here UGC care list nowadays this is a compulsion for our promotions, that you have to publish the qualitative paper in the UGC based on the UGC care reference list of quality journal. So based on this, all these impact factors can be nowadays calculated. Second thing is author metrics. Author metrics can be calculated based on the citation metrics, and we are collecting the data from the Scopus, Web of Science and Google Scholar. So what this Scopus, Web of Science and Google Scholar, they are providing the author metric. Author metric generally it is calculated by citation and H index, and sometimes it is also calculated by the ORCID ID also. Okay, so once you create your ORCID ID, automatically all these metrics you will get in the automatic way. So don't have to bother about how to calculate it, the citation or H index. Only the thing is you have to create your research profile, so that citation metrics can be calculated. Even this nowadays metric is very, that is called as a alternative metrics, and which is compiled by social networking sites like academia, researchgate, and Almetric for impact story also they are using. Kudos also they are using. But only the thing is, as a faculty members, you have to take care about how to register yourself for all these things, so that your impact will be calculated based on your research visibility. Then there are another ways to measure the author impact based on the documents count. These are the methods which traditionally it was followed, like document count, citation count, document count with H index, and H index also, I10 index also. Even this Web of Science is also providing, and then Scopus is also providing their H index facility, and Google Scholar is also providing the H index and I10 facility. So if you have a access, like your library may be subscribing Web of Science, or Scopus or other databases also your library is subscribing. So if you have a database access, then you can search for the particular core collection, and there you will find the H index and I10 index ready-made. Okay, so here if you conduct a search on the Web of Science, then you can see here that this is the conducted search in the Web of Science. You can see here that how many times that particular author is cited by the others. So 1370 times this particular author, this particular article is cited by other. So it is counted that this is the article impact. Means how whatever article you have written, that article is used by how many number of authors. Based on that, this is calculated. So all these calculations can be done automatically. Then Scopus is also there. Based on that, they are also providing the citation count of the article level matrix or author level matrix, and even Google Scholar. So once you create the account in the Google Scholar, that means here I can show you that in the next slide it may be there, Google Scholar article impact. So here you can see that if you search for just I have taken a search for science mapping software tool. Okay, so here you can see that cited by 699. So cited by 699 means this article is cited by other 699 research scholar. So this means the impact of this article is very good, because once you create the search, so based on the search you can find out that how many times that particular article is been cited by others. So based on that also you can value the particular article. So this is the Google Scholar citation impact. Then article impact in if you have a digital library of IEEE, they are also providing that how many times this particular paper is cited by others. Then there are another tools like Almetric is also there. Almetrics is nothing but it is the nowadays we are using all these social medias. So how many time our article is being viewed by in the social media, how many likes we found. So based on this article, impact of article is counted, and for this you can use this impact story. You can also create the means you can also register for the impact story. Cited link is also there, PLS is also there. Even this Scopus is providing you the Almetric facility. So once you have a Scopus ID, author ID, then don't bother about the Almetrics. They are also providing that facility. Then Plub Analytics is also there. So how many number of like blogs, Twitter, Facebook, then Wikipedia, then Pinterest, YouTube. So how many number of times that is mentioned on the social media, it is calculated based on the Almetric. So here what kind of data is being measured, like usage is measured, mention is measured, social medias like how many likes you found on that particular like Facebook or LinkedIn or other how many number of times that is tweeted your work. Then sites how many number of times a work has been received in the Web of Science, PubMed, Scopus. Then how many number of times that is captured or shared by the other sites like Mendeley, Jotero. All these are the reference management tools. So how many times it is bookmarked. Okay, so based on that they are also calculating the Almetrics. Then the next slide is there are some fundamental things to publish. We have to take care about before publishing also. So before publishing, we should also take care about our author affiliation. Sometime what happen? Sometime we are writing like Rashtrasanta Tukloji Maharaj. I am taking my all examples so that you can understand well. So sometime what happen for writing our author affiliation, we are writing RTM Nagpur University. Sometimes we are writing Nagpur University. Sometimes we are writing Rashtrasanta Tukloji Maharaj Nagpur University. So we have to avoid that. So when we are in the initial stage of our research publication, we are not knowing about all these things. Okay. But now all the faculty members, they are publishing a paper and they should also take care about the author affiliation. So author affiliation, once you decided that this type of author affiliation you have to write, means you have to write that consistently. Okay, in all the research paper. and whatever like faculty, then department, school can be listed as a appropriate. Author name. Sometime what happen, I am writing SR Leadkar. Sometime I am writing Shalini Ramdas Leadkar. Sometime I am writing Shalini Leadkar, R Leadkar. So we should avoid all this, and for avoiding this author name ambiguity, it will raise the accessibility of your work. Sometime what happen, if you search in the Google Scholar like Shalini Leadkar, so it will come, but sometime if you are searching SR Leadkar, then it won't come. So we should avoid all this author ambiguity. So once you decided, you are, because your name may not be changed, okay, for only for ladies the name may be changed, okay. So once you decided that yes, this is the author name, and we have to write in all paper consistently, so you have to take care about that also. Then journal selection. So once you publish the paper in a very good journal, then automatically it will enhance the research visibility. But although we have to also take care after publishing also, we have to post that particular thing like full text paper. Sometime if copyright issues are there, then we have to only provide the abstract of that paper. So for journal selection, you have to take care about the UGC care list, master journal list also from the Web of Science, and source list also from the Scopus. And if possible, then you can publish in the open access platform, so that the research visibility can be more. Then how there are different ways to boost your research visibility, we will see that. Manage your research profile. First is manage your research profile with various research profiling tool, we will go into the depth. Then utilize open access resources, and if possible publish in the open access platform. Then deposit your publication in the institutional research archive. For example, your Anjuman Islamic College is having some digital library, then you can also post the paper there, or if you have a institutional repository or archive, you can also post, so that other can also see. Then promote your research online with social media. We have to also use this social media for promoting our research. Then academic social networks also we can use, and almetric tool also we can use. So these are the 7 ways from where we can boost our research visibility. Then we will go into the depth of that, how to create and manage your research profile. That is the first way of boosting our research visibility. So we have to use this ORCID ID, Scopus author ID, researcher ID. So whenever you use all this researcher ID, you should also take care about the author's name ambiguity. Your profile should not be blanked one. All publication you have to add it. Okay. And whatever publications, research profiling tools, make sure it should be linked with the other profiling tool also. Whatever profile you have all in all research publication, research profile, it should be updated. And profiling tools you are using for research ID or web presence. So I'm showing you some of the profiling tools. You can use it if you have. It is a very good thing. But if you don't have the research profiling, if you are not using, then you can use it after this presentation. So Scopus author ID, you have to take care. Even Web of Science ID, Publon ID is also you have to take care. Google Scholar, ORCID ID, it is a must. It is like a Aadhaar card. Okay, Aadhaar card we are using for anything. So here also ARCID is like a Aadhaar card for the researcher. Okay, every researcher, every faculty member should have this ORCID ID. LinkedIn is also there. ResearchGate ID is also there. Academia is also there. Social networking and academic network is also there. Even some of the reference management tools, they are also providing the facility of research profiling. Okay, so if you are using the Mendeley or if you are using the Jotero, then create your profile so that whatever libraries you are creating or whatever literature you are searching, it can be bookmarked. Then IR means institutional repository. Vidwan database is also there, and altmetric tool is also there. So all this research profiling tool, you have to have your research ID, so that it can be, your research can be visible and it will enhance your research visibility. So how to create, we will go into the depth of this one, how to create. So first we will see ORCID, then Scopus, then researcher ID with the Publon or Web of Science, and then Google Scholar profile also. I hope the most of the faculty members, they have a profile in the Google Scholar. So let us see one by one. First is the ORCID. So ORCID is nothing but it is a open researcher and contributor identifier. It is a unique identifier for all the research scholars and researcher. And why it is, it will promote the discoverability of publication across multiple platforms, because it gives you the 16-digit unique number, and all your research activity throughout your career, if you are in the middle stage or initial stage of your research, then first have the ORCID ID or create your ORCID ID. So this is the example of the ORCID ID, and 16-digit unique number they are providing. And based on that, even if you are submitting a research proposal, and if even if you are submitting the article to very good journals like high impact factor journals, so they will ask you about the ORCID ID. Without ORCID ID, they won't take your publications. So like this, this is very compulsory for the research scholar. You have to create your ORCID ID. And what is the benefit of ORCID ID? Because it will record your all works, like employment detail, what awards you have gained, then what research grant, then throughout your entire career, it is recorded your researcher data. So it can be linked up, and it can be used by the publisher or databases or organization also. Then it is being required by the publisher and funder. Sometime what happen, to avoid the name ambiguity, we have to use this ORCID ID. So whatever, if you have a ORCID ID, then automatically you will be identified by the publishers, you will be identified by the funders also, like funding agencies also. So here there is a one example, like this example is there. Wong Peter, sometime means right, Wong Peter MK, then Wong PMK. So like this, we have to avoid this ambiguity, name ambiguity, and for this we have to use the ORCID ID. So ORCID ID is a unique ID for the researcher, and it avoid the name ambiguity. So this is the workflow for managing your research profile. So if you have all these ID, so this is a workflow, just suggesting workflow. If you want to follow, you can follow. First, clean up your Scopus author ID. Why to clean up your Scopus author profile? Because 10 years back, if you have created your Scopus profile, so that time we don't know exactly, because that may be our initial stage of research. So that time we don't know how our IDs we have created. But now if we are knowing all these things, then you have to create very carefully your research ID. Then second thing, create your ORCID ID first, and that whatever ORCID ID database you have, that it can be embedded with the other research profiling tools. Okay. Then you can also create the Web of Science researcher ID. And how to create your ORCID ID? Just go to the orchid.org. Okay, there is a facility for researcher. Link is there for organization. You can also register for the organization. You can also register as an individual researcher. So if you click on the for researcher, then you will get this thing. You have to just create or register now. They will ask you about the email ID or password, whatever password you want to take, you can take, and just sign it. You can also sign with various social media account like Facebook, you can sign. If you have a Google account, then you can also sign with the Google account. Then whatever information they are asking, you have to fill. They are asking only the personal information, like what is name, last name, your primary mail, additional mail. So like this, they are asking some information so that your record can be recorded. And there is a visibility setting, friends. You can do the visibility setting to everyone. So for what purpose we are creating? To enhance our research visibility. So we have to also take care about that. It should be on. Okay, your everything means everyone should be on. so that everyone can see your profile. So that is the purpose of this particular link. And this is my ORCID ID. This is a 16 number digital numbers are there. It is a very unique number. And once you create your ORCID ID, then you will get this screen like display your ID on the other side, public record print view, get QR codes. You can also generate your QR codes. And here, once you fill all this data like your biography, your employability, your educational and qualification, awards, and everything you have to include related with your research. Okay, like it is a personal database or personal like they are asking you about the all the your CV. Okay, so once you create your this IDs, then what happen, you will also generate the QR codes. You can embed these QR codes with your personal website or institutional website also. You can just copy the code, whatever codes they are providing you, and you can also paste it in your personal website so that it can be embedded with the ORCID ID. So that is ORCID ID. I request all the faculty members and research scholars, those who are attending this seminar, like webinar, they can also create their ORCID ID. So that is a one way of enhancing your research visibility to others, and it is like a Aadhaar card. Everywhere we need this ORCID ID in our research journey. Then Scopus author ID. How to create a Scopus author ID? If you have a subscribed Scopus database, then good. Yeah, based on that also you can create your author ID. But if you don't have a subscribed database of Scopus, then just go to scopus.com free lookup. Okay. So scopus.com free lookup. It is a service from the Scopus, and you can search your author name. If you have a published paper in the Scopus database, then it will search. If you don't have also, then you can also create your IDs. Okay, so how to create your IDs with this Scopus author ID? They will also ask you about the author name, your publication means your detail, and they will also ask you about the ORCID ID detail. Okay, so once you feed the data, means unique digital ID, 16 number 16 digit number unique ID you have fed, then automatically all the data will be extracted from the ORCID ID to the Scopus. So that is having the ORCID ID, it is a very good for the research scholar. You can also search for the author, like just I have taken my name only for searching. So if you search for the name, then you will get that 8 documents are there, H index is 3. So all details will be coming in your author ID. So if you want to create, they will also provide you the graphical presentation of how many number of citations you have, means citation you got like H index, then how many number of documents you have in the Scopus. So like this, they will provide you the graphical presentation of your profile. And here there is an option, edit author profile. You can add the profile, means edit the profile. You can also connect to the ORCID ID, and you can also set up the alert. Alert is a very good facility. Some of the databases they are providing. Even Google Scholar also, they are providing you the alerting facility. Alert facility means whatever your interesting area. Suppose scientometric is your interesting area, so you can feed the data for alert scientometric. So whatever new publications are there in the scientometrics anywhere, it may be in the Scopus, or it may be in the Web of Science, or it may be in the other databases. So they will mail you about, yes, this publication is been published by such and such author. So alert facility is very good facility, and they are providing you the updation of the particular paper. Then click to connect to the ORCID ID. There are 6 steps of suppose you are connecting, means you are creating your Scopus ID, and if you have a ORCID ID, so don't need to feed the data in the Scopus again. Okay, just you can also connect with the ORCID ID. So whatever data you have in the ORCID, that can be automatically synchronized with the Scopus. So there is no need to feed the data repeatedly. Okay, so here you can, there are 6 steps: select profile name, review publication, review profile, send the author ID, and send publication. So in this sixth stage, your ORCID ID data can be transferred or synchronized with the Scopus. So that is only the simple steps are there. You can see here that various steps you have to do just only next. Okay. So whatever data you have related with this particular author, like I have typed Leadkar Shalini Ramdas. So whatever publications we have in the Scopus and ORCID, it will automatically come in. See here that all the you have to review. Yes, this is your publication. This is not your publication. So you have to click on the right button so that you can choose your publication, and then you can review your profile. Yes, this is based on this author name, you are having such number of papers, and then you can go for the next step, that is send author ID. Then you can also you can also write your mail so that all ORCID data can be transferred to the Scopus ID. So that is only the simple steps. You can also send your publications. You can manually add also your publications. Okay. So here you can link all the documents also. Whatever documents are submitted in the Scopus, you can also link with the ORCID. So that is the second way. First way we have seen that till now, how to create the ORCID ID and how to create the Scopus ID. Second, the third thing is how to create a Web of Science researcher ID. Okay. So if Web of Science researcher ID is now based on the Publon also, they have updated this researcher ID. So if you have a Web of Science ID, then there is no need for going for the Publon. And if you have a Publon, then there is no need for going for the Web of Science. But if you have both, then there is no harm having the both also. You can use it, Publon ID. They are providing a different facility. They are providing the personal dashboard also. So why we have to register in the researcher ID of Web of Science? Because automatically it will track your publication. It will gives you the scientific means citation metrics, and whatever peer reviewing you are doing, like journal editing you are doing, then it is very easy to maintain the profile with the Web of Science or researcher ID. Then you can also showcase your research output, and it is very easy to add the publication from the Web of Science or ORCID ID or any digital object identifier or by file upload also. And you can also automatically update your profile with the institutional affiliation. And that's why previously I have suggested you that your institutional affiliation should be consistent. Okay. So for that purpose also, for creating your updates, that purpose you have to write the institutional affiliation consistently. So here also you can see that you have to take care about your ID should be open to public, and whatever account you have, it should be updated, profile should be there. Then how to create this? Yes, anybody is want to say something? Hello, my voice is clear, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Gupta
Yes,
ji?
ma'am. Your voice is clear. Yeah.
Okay. I can take more time, like 15 minutes more. Hello.
Yeah. Shaheen, ma'am, I think you can answer that.
I want to register. So join Publon now. You can click on here from join Publon now. Or if you have a researcher ID already in the Web of Science, then you can log in. So if you don't have, then you can go for click on this link so that you can create your IDs. Here also they are providing you the facility of synchronized with the ORCID ID. So here you can create your researcher ID, and this researcher ID will be like this. You can see here the profile. You can see here the research field also, and you can add your biodata also. Then Publon account. Publon account, it is a dashboard to manage your records and metrics, and it can be integration with the Web of Science, ORCID also, some academic journals also. All the data can be imported, your publications or citation metrics. Here having the Publon account, it is very good for if you are doing the review of the journals, like any journal articles, if you are reviewing, then you can also add here the Publon in Publon account. Okay. So that whatever reviews you are doing, it can be added and it can be seen or visible to others also. So they are providing you a very good facility. None of the other researcher ID they are providing that facility. Only publication facility they are providing. But here having the Pablan ID, you can also add your peer reviewers process, means peer reviewer and journal editor. So that is very good facility with the Pablan. So how to create your Pablan ID? There is a registration link is there. You can create, and I'm going into fast so that I can manage my time. So once you register with the Publon ID, your ID will be like this. You can see your ID in the Publon. Just I have taken my example. Dashboard summary, they are providing public profile, export verified record also. You can also add your records with means for publication, for peer reviewing and editor record also. So three ways you can add your records like publication, peer review and editor records. So that is a very good facility given by the Publon. You can fill the detail, whatever your profile, you can fill it, whatever your research field, you can fill it, like affiliation, email, then some of the records, you can fill it. And you can also make a group here with the Publon. So this is a verified, import verified record. You can also do the import verified record based on the ORCID ID. You can synchronize with the ORCID ID also. Like here, you can see that how I have synchronized with the ORCID ID. So having the ORCID ID everywhere it is necessary. So I request all the faculty members, please register for ORCID ID so that everywhere you can synchronize the ORCID record with Web of Science, Scopus or Publon. Okay. So here also you can see that how this connect with the ORCID. You can also connect with the ORCID. You can also synchronize your records with the ORCID. You can add the publication. Suppose I have a publication in Web of Science. So all these things can be added. You can see here that recent publications can be also added. So sorry, recent publication can be also added. So all this profile, your profile should be publicly available. Suppose for example in Web of Science, like 52 total number of citation H index, so they are providing you all the facility of citation matrix. They are also providing you what is the impact over a time. Like for example, I have started publishing the paper from 99, so 2020. So over a time, what is the impact of your research on the others? It will automatically calculate it, and it will also show you the graphical presentation also. So like this, if you have a public Pablan ID, then it is very easy. Then next is a Google Scholar ID. I think many faculty members, they might have using all this Google Scholar. So Google Scholar is also providing you the facility of how to create the public profile, and what will be the citation matrix, or even generally the I-10 index and H10 index. So if you have a Google Scholar profile, then it is a very good thing. But if you don't have still, so you can create your profile with the my citation option is there. So based on the my citation, you can just click on that if you are having the Google account, and complete all the steps. Steps are very simple. You have to add the publication, or automatically if you have a electronic publication, then it will automatically extract the data from the electronic resources. Okay. But if you want to add, then you can add your publication in Google profile, because it will give you the citation matrix. And nowadays for accreditation agencies like NAC, and for any other things like AICT, they are also asking you the citation matrix profile of the researcher or faculty member. So for this purpose, they are providing you all these researcher IDs. They are providing you the ready-made facility, what will be the citation, what will be the H index, what will be the I-10 index. So once you receive the citation for your work, it will automatically update with the Google Scholar. Okay. So hence it is very necessary for the faculty members to have the Google Scholar matrix, because it increase your visibility of your work, and it will also discover your profile and your work with the world. And it is very easy to maintain and update your publication, and it is a gateway to measure the research impact. So if you are not having the Google Scholar ID, then you can have this Google Scholar ID. You can see here that this is my Google Scholar ID. Whatever publications I have, for example, this is the first publication, means this is the first in rank. how many times this particular author, particular article is cited by the others. Okay, so 17 times it is cited by the others. So it will calculate the impact factor, like H index particularly. So here you can see here that citation 175 citation H index is 8, I-10 index is 6. So based on your publication, whatever resource this publication is cited by others, it will automatically calculate it. So for showing your to the NAAC accreditation agencies or other agencies, you can show this profile. And nowadays they are also asking what will be the Google Scholar matrix, what will be the Scopus IDs. Okay, so like this, all researcher IDs they are asking. And if you have a institutional repository of your college or of your institution, or even for subject based archives, you can also submit the paper in subject based archives. For library science we have a ELIS or ePrint. For other subject, if you are for like engineering and pharmacy, so you can also search in this database, like registry of open access repositories and open dr is there. You can search for your repositories, and you can submit all your publications. If the copyright policy is permitting you to submit the paper in the archives, then you can submit it. If the copyright policy is not permitting you to submit the full text paper, then you can also submit the abstract of the paper. Okay, so based on these also, the facility, archive facility also, they are providing you the research visibility. You can also use this social media, like you can use blog, Twitter, and everybody is nowadays very familiar with the blog, Twitter, and LinkedIn account. So these are the tools to improve the visibility of your research. So if you have a LinkedIn account, if you don't have the LinkedIn account, you can also see that how to create the LinkedIn account, how to create the research scholar researchgate account. And here I'm insisting that academic social networks are also there, like Academia Edu is there, researchgate is there, Jotero is there, Mendeley is there. Some of the reference management tool, they are also providing you to create your profile, online profile. So you have to create your online profile so that you can use all these profiles for having the visibility increased. So for it is very good, like how to create in the Mendeley. Just type the mendeley.com and create a free account. Okay, you can use this software for your research purpose also, for writing the references and bibliography, or for citation. You can use this Mendeley software. It is a very good software, and they are also providing. So if you have a Mendeley profile, then see here that they are also taking care of the ORCID ID, Scopus ID, and personal website. Okay, so if you have a ORCID ID, Scopus ID, and if you are giving the link to Mendeley profile, then it will automatically calculate it. Okay, so here you can see that 19 citation, 3 H index. So like this, if you are having, then it is a very good thing. But if you don't have, then you can use this, all these tools like Mendeley profile and other profile. It will automatically enhance the research visibility. Then it will also give you the graphical representation of your publications, like see here that graphical citations, based on the citation they are preparing the graphical presentation, and then you can show it to the funding agencies or other research accreditation agencies. You can also create the account for researchgate. It is very easy. Join for free, link is there. You can join it, and you can have your account with you can just fill the information, and you can have the account. And this is the homepage of my RG. Sometimes the UGC or AICT, they are also asking about the RG's ID. So you can also create the RG's ID. And very good thing for the RG's is that they are also making the networks similar, like if you are interested in scientometric study, so automatically if you click on the scientometric, then your network will be connected with others, those who are having the similar interest, and they are also providing you some discussion forums also. So like this, having the RG account, it is a very good thing to communicate with the professionals and to connect with the professionals also. They are also providing you the statistical, graphical statistics. They are providing you, then how many number of research you have, how many citations you got, then what will be your research interest, then who is doing what in the same line of your research. So like this, they are providing also the score. Sometimes the accreditation agencies are also asking you about the RG score. So see here that you can observe that 6.76. So this is the RG score of mine. But you can also create your own profile. Then you can also use the academia.edu, and yeah, the 69% boost in the citation over the 5 years. One study in PLS is showing that if you are using the academia, there is a chances of getting the citation of your publication more. So you can also have the account in academia.edu. Okay, but there are some limitation of dissemination of work of online. If you are disseminating your work like publications, so there are three categories, like preprint is also there. You may be knowing about what is meant by preprint. Then postprint and published version. So preprint means before publications, can we submit the article to the other social medias, we have to also take care. Postprint also, even published version also can we submit. So if you are confused with that, then you can use this. How can I share it? This is a very handy tool for the research scholar to check and which version of the journals can be shared. So you can use this site. How can I share it? Okay. And then you can also use it, this Sherpa Romeo policy. They are also guiding you about the copyright and self-archiving policy. Okay, so if your paper is published in the journals, and some publishers or some journals, they are not allowing you to publish in the other online media, so you can use this Sherpa Romeo policy. And also you can use this Creative Commons .org. They are also providing you how your publications can be visible for others in the Creative Commons based on the Creative Commons guidelines. Okay, so they are providing you CCC, like something you may be somewhere in some paper you are finding out that CC, so that is a Creative Commons licensing. They are providing you for dissemination of your work online. You can also use this Almatric tools, like previously I have told you about the impact story. So this is a free Almatric tool. You can use it to have the track of your online impact of your work. You can also use this Almatric book marketlet, is there also. Then impact story, how to create. It is a very simple steps how to create or how to get register for this. Only the thing is you have to sign to Orchid ID. So Orchid ID is must, and that's why first we have taken the Orchid ID. So everywhere Orchid is asking about the other to create the your research ID. You can also synchronize with the Orchid ID, Orchid data. And this is the impact story page, friends. You can use it and you can have your impact story page, so that your article, if it is available, means if it is shared by someone in the social media, then it will be calculated your impact. So for this, you can use this impact story account. This is an impact story account where you can add the publications, and you have the impact story score also. Okay, you can use this almatric.com. You can use this book market. All these are for the calculating the impact of almatric. PUMX is also there. You can use it. Any tool you can use it. It is not necessary every tool you have to use it for one purpose. You can use one tool. With one database is also there. It is a good initiatives by the InflibNet Ahmedabad from our India. They will also identify the peer reviewers of article and then research proposal. So if you have a with one IDs, so the homepage is like this with one inflibnet.ac.in. You have to use it. You can register yourself as a faculty members. They will review your profile, your publications, and after that they will also give you the with one ID registration. Okay, and then if you have a with one ID registration, then automatically your citations will be enhanced. So this is the Vidwan page. You have to create your Vidwan ID. You have to download, like for this, like this is the example of mine. They are providing you the Vidwan ID. You have to download your CVs, means you have to upload your CVs, and all this educational qualification, your honors and award, doctoral thesis, professional body, membership of committee. So whatever you have your academia, then you have to upload here in Vidwan ID. This is a government of India initiatives. You can have the Vidwan IDs, and it will also add the academic identity. Here also they are asking you about the ORCID. They are asking you about the Scopus researcher. So once you create your all account, then after that you can create your Vidwan ID. So that every academic identity you can feed it here, so that they will also capture the data for the Vidwan. So that is very simple steps. And even some this is also the initiative of IRINS from InflibNet. So they are also providing you some academic identity. They are also providing you the visualization or research impact. If you have the IRINS account, IRIS account, then you can see here that this is the example of my account. You can see here that some of the publications I have in this IDs, and based on that they will also provide you the network diagram, like co-authored network diagram they are providing you. So like this, I want to just sum up, if the librarians are the participants, you have to provide the citation or footprint service by using the various databases, help the faculty members for creating research profile, how to create it, then provide research support service and help the faculty members where to publish, basically in the qualitative journals. Then create a manual or guide for boosting your research visibility, create RINS database through your library, then motivate your staff to create all digital researcher ID and create the researcher visibility map. All faculty members, for them I have some suggestions. Create your own research brand, publish quality papers in the peer reviewed journals. Don't publish in the predatory journals. Nowadays you may be knowing about all this predatory journal. Use the reference management tools like Mendeley, you can use it, Jotero you can use it, Bipsonomy you can use it, Citavi you can use it. Any software you can use it for providing a proper references, whatever articles we are referring. Then you can use it before submission of your paper to the journal. You can use some plagiarism tool like Turnitin is there, or means many softwares are available. Even some open source softwares are also available. Then you can take the help of that software, so that your paper is plagiarized more than 10%, then you should not submit the paper to the journals. So for that you can use this plagiarism tool. Keep digital academic identity and updated. Create your YouTube videos so that other can also see. Once you publish your paper, then you can make a video for abstract what you have published, and then put it on the YouTube, so that others can also see what type of publications you have. Then create your own effective website. Then you fix share, even slide share, whatever slides you have, then you can share it with the public, so that your research or your area of research can be visible to all. Then in depth you should also take care about the copyright policy. Then link your latest and greatest article in your professional email signature. And generally we are doing our WhatsApp status like our photos, recent photos. But if you have published a paper in this one, then you can make a photo or take a photo and then keep as a WhatsApp status. Okay, so that other can also see what papers you have published, so that it can be visible. So all these are the ways, friends, you can have your research visibility. You can have your research profile for enhancing your research visibility. And now this is the right time. COVID-19 has given us right time to update ourselves, and whatever publications we have, it should be visible to all, so that our visibility and as well as our institutional visibility can be also enhanced, and we should keep a good credit work or research credit to our credit. Okay, so thank you once and all, and thanks to the organizers specially for providing me this opportunity to express my views on this research visibility, boosting of research visibility.
Thank you, ma'am, for an informative session. Now we'll quickly